Hey everyone, Tori here with another Project Life Process video, and this one is my 40th Project Life Process video, and this one is called March because it's actually the very first spread for my March section of my 2015 album. And I'm starting the way that I start all of my Project Life videos or processes. Basically, my process for doing Project Life is pick the photos, lay them out, figure out where I want them, find the filler cards, and then embellish and then add journaling. That's pretty much the process that I take every single time. And if you've watched my videos before, you know that that's who I am. I'm pretty predictable, I guess. And the other predictable thing that I'm going to do today is I'm going to use my favorite color, which is pink. So just before I tell you about what's going on here, I thought I'd tell you about the photos. So the photo that's in the top left-hand corner is a photo that I grabbed out the window of my bedroom. One morning I woke up and there was this beautiful sunrise, and it was just so beautiful that I had to snatch a photo. And then the two photos that are in the middle, one of them is my Bible along with my notes for the Sunday school class I was teaching at church. And then the other one is a photo of something I had written on the whiteboard, which I wanted to remember so I could document. And then the photo that is in the bottom right-hand corner, which has all the post-it notes on it, is a photo collage of different photos from my Sunday school class. Now, I covered it up with some post-it notes, which I don't usually do, but I had to do for this one because there are some kids in the photos, and I don't have permission to show their photos, or their faces, so that's why I've covered it up. Hopefully that's okay with you guys, but I love this spread, so I still wanted to show the video, so that's why I figured I would just cover it up that way. I could still show the video, and you guys could get the idea of what the spread looks like, even though that photo is all covered up so that you can't see the kids' faces. Now, I am just picking out some of the cards, and I knew that I wanted to go with the same colors that were sort of in the sunrise photo, and it had that yellow, pink, an orangish pink color, and then that purple. And I had this one card in the bottom, or in the top right-hand corner with all the flowers in it, and it was like the perfect card because it went with all the right colors. And let me just say, I love that card. I could have like 50 more of that, and it would just make me so happy. That's a Studio Calico card, by the way, which is where most of my cards have come from in the past. However, in the future, that will probably be changing. So I have decided to cancel my Studio Calico subscriptions, which was a really hard decision. But I think what I'll do is I might post another video talking about why I canceled and what I'm going to do next. Maybe in the future if I can get around time to film it. But let's just focus on the spread today. And I started by picking out all the cards, and there was this really cool card that looks sort of like an old-fashioned notebook, and I thought that would be fun to go in that bottom 4x6 card, or spot, so I grabbed a pink paper and then I layered that on top in the middle. I'm just seeing if there's any other cards that I want to use, but I don't end up using them. And then I'm going to start embellishing after I've gone through these. Now, one of the things I wanted to say is I've noticed lately that my Project Life style has really changed. I wonder if those of you who have been watching me on YouTube for a while have also noticed this. When I first started doing Project Life, I was all about the embellishments, and the more and the bigger and the bulkier, the better. And I used to just embellish like crazy, but I feel like lately I've gone like more simple and clean on my Project Life spreads. And I'm really loving this new evolution of Tori's scrapbooking. I hope you guys are enjoying it too. I feel like I've maybe matured in my style a little bit. My scrapbook pages are still pretty heavily embellished and lots of color, lots of pattern, and I like them that way, so I'm probably going to keep that for my scrapbook pages. But I found that I really want to go with like a clean, more simple look on my Project Life so that the photos and the journaling can really stand out. because now that I've been doing it for a while, like a couple of years, I was looking back at older albums, and the things that really stood out to me were the photos and the journaling, not necessarily like the crazy amount of embellishments that I had put on a page. So I've been going with a cleaner style, and also that new style has been completely inspired by some of the panelists over on the Paper Clipping Roundtable, which is a podcast that I discovered probably a year ago. Let me just say, I love Noelle and Izzy. Noelle and Izzy are the ones who put together the Paper Clipping Roundtable podcast. And if you have not listened to that podcast, you need to like stop what you're doing right now. Like literally stop this video and go listen to that podcast, because I love PRT and I can't even say enough about it. Every time I listen to that podcast, I am so inspired and motivated and challenged, and I've just learned so much over there, and I've really felt like I've developed as an artist from listening to that podcast. So if you love scrapbooking or paper crafting, you need to like go listen to that podcast. Anyways, back to what I was saying about my style. I feel like I've sort of developed my project lifestyle a little bit from some of the things that the panelists have said. For example, about a month ago or so, there was a episode. I'm looking it up here. It was episode 263. It was a very good episode. So if you want to know where to start, go listen to that one. And there was a panelist on there who I've never actually heard of before, but I first heard about her on the PRT, and her name is Anandi. I think that's how you say her name. And on that episode, Anandi was talking about her project lifestyle, and she totally said something that completely resonated with me. I wrote a comment, so I'm just going to read my comment about that I had written so that I can share with you how I feel about Anandi's comment. Here's my comment. When Anandi said about Kelly's layout really stood out to me. She said that because there were less photos, it looks more impactful because it's carefully chosen and each photo ends up meaning more. I feel like my pages, I've always tried to add more photos, more stuff, and it ends up looking really busy. My Project Life pages end up looking like a throw up of photos and embellishments and papers, and it never ever crossed my mind that this approach might be taking away from the impact and importance and meaning of my photos. And when I think about the reason, passion, and purpose behind my scrapbooking, it's because I want to document my memories. I want to be able to look back and see what was important to me and what I really cared about. Every last picture isn't actually necessary for me to make meaning on the page. Thank you for the lovely insight, Anandi. And I think that really resonated with me because like sometimes I try to end up adding so many photos, so many embellishments that it ends up taking away from like the impact that a spread can make. So like on this spread, there's only four photos, and I'm actually going to take out that one of the whiteboard thing and just write down what it said. And I feel like when my layout is clean and simple and there's more journaling and I'm not like crazy embellishing photos or cards, there's so much more of an impact. I don't know if that's just me. Maybe you guys feel that way too or whatever. Leave me a comment. What do you think? Have you noticed the change in my project lifestyle from like the very first ones to now? Do you like the change or do you miss my embellishment crazy? All over the place throw up of embellishments, or I don't know, what do you guys think? I just feel like lately I've just wanted to like really focus on the story and the photos, and especially for Project Life, because I feel like the pockets sometimes they can end up looking like too crazy if I add too much. Anyways, I don't know, that's just my food for thought for today, I guess. So I'll get back to the page here. Basically, I added the title March onto that sunrise photo. and I used letter stickers to put 2015 on the flower card in the top right hand corner. And then I added the title Sunday to beside the notebook, and it wasn't really standing out, so I used a black pen to outline it, and I feel like that helped a lot. I added a label with the date, which was March 1st, 2015, to that photo collage there, and that label comes from Freckled Fawn, if you were wondering. And at this point, I'm sort of looking at the layout going, oh, I feel like it needs a little bit more, but I'm not really sure what it needs. I'm thinking, do I need to stamp the date again, or what should I do? So I ended up grabbing another roller date stamp, and this one is from Studio Calico, and I stamped Here and Now in that like white section on the notebook because I felt like it just needed a little something to take it to the next level. And then this is the point when I decide that I'm not going to use that photo of the whiteboard that I had written down. I just wanted the text that I had written down. So I'm going to get rid of that photo, and I'm going to just put the text from that photo on this Project Life card. And basically what it was is this week in Sunday school I was teaching the kids about the story of Zacchaeus. And if you don't know the story of Zacchaeus, it comes from the Bible, and it's about a tax collector who everybody hated. But Jesus shows him grace and goes to his house, and then Zacchaeus turns his life around. Basically, that's the summed up version. And I was talking to the kids in Sunday school about what the word grace means. And I found this cool acronym on the internet, which is, what the word grace means, and it's God's riches at Christ's expense. And so I had written that on the whiteboard, and I didn't necessarily like my handwriting on the whiteboard, but I wanted that to be in the spread. So I used some letter stickers to spell out grace, and then the acronym I wrote out with my own handwriting. And then next I grabbed a vellum phrase from Studio Calico that says, "Seasons change and so do we," and I added that above the March title. And then I felt like that grid card needed something, so I grabbed a acetate heart as well as a little chipboard word phrase that said journey, and glued that on there. And I like that it ties in the colors of the red and the pinks and oranges. And then I felt like I wanted to do more journaling on this page, but I wasn't really sure where to put it. So I decided to use a tag and just stick it behind the Here and Now card, or behind the, what's it called, the like notebook. So I grabbed this tag that I have had in my stash forever. I don't even know where it comes from. I think it might have been a rack from somebody. And it's gray on one side and says BU, and then on the back I decided to add my journaling, and then I'll just tuck that in there so that it's just some hidden journaling, but you can take it out and read it if you really want to. And I was just talking about how, sort of personal, but I'll share it with you. I was talking about how sometimes I find it hard to make time to plan for Sunday school and to plan my Sunday school lesson, but whenever I do, I always have so much fun. And so I think it was more of like a lesson to myself that I need to like put more time into the things that I'm committed to do. And I'm just adding it with like a black Project Life pen, and then I'm just going to add some yellow string to the hole because I don't like tags that are left empty, and then stick that right in there. And I'm done now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow it down and show you each photo so you can take a look at what it looks like before I pop it into the Project Life spread. Anyways, that's it for me today. I hope you all have a lovely day. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I love getting your comments. They mean so much to me, and I'm always happy to respond. Thanks, everybody. Have a lovely day. Bye.